Remember Hararomi, the lively and the bustling village? Here is a story about a lady called Abeo and the palm wine tapper. In a village called Hararomi, there lived a man, Alao, and his wife, Abeke. After years of waiting for the fruit of the womb, her prayers were finally answered, and she cradled the life she had longed for. On that fateful day, she was on her way to the farm when she went into labor. As she labored under the palm tree to bring her child into the world, Lambe, the village drunkard, was passing by and started shouting that the child will be a female and that the child must marry a palm wine tapper, else she faces death. Startled, Alao wondered why fate would choose such a match. But deep within, he trusted the wisdom of the divine, as Lambe was known to say things which normally come to pass, believing that life often weaves the strangest yet most beautiful tales. In the pain of birth and the joy of new life, he accepted the destiny that awaited his child, as his wife gave birth to their daughter named Abeo. As the years passed, the prophecy from the day of her birth lingered in the minds of her parents. They cherished their daughter, knowing that her future held a unique destiny. Suitors came and went, offering wealth and status, but her parents gently turned them away. They searched the villages looking for the palm wine tapper foretold. Finally, they found him, a man who lived by the rhythm of the palm trees. One thing they didn't know was that this new suitor, Ajadi, was very proud and has no regards for anyone. With a heart full of love for their daughter and the trust in the prophecy, they arranged the marriage, ensuring their daughter fulfilled the fate set for her at birth. Abeo, now a successful palm wine seller in the ever-bustling village, with a prophecy fulfilled, and Ajadi, a skilled palm wine tapper, believing they were fulfilling their destiny. However, as the years passed, their pride and arrogance began to grow. Abeo became overly confident in her beauty and success, while Ajadi's ego swelled with his reputation as the best tapper in the region. Their once happy union turned into a battle of wills, each refusing to compromise. Eventually, their marriage crumbled under the weight of their pride, leading to a bitter divorce. The prophecy had been fulfilled, but their happiness was lost to their arrogance. After the heartache of a failed marriage, Abeo left her village, seeking solace in a distant place where no one knew her past. There, she met an elderly palm wine tapper, a man weathered by time but gentle in spirit. His simplicity and quiet strength drew her in, thinking she would find the peace she had longed for. But due to their age difference, she never found comfort in his company, but married him because she was getting older. In his humble home, she tried to find happiness, but never found, as she always felt a void in her heart. She often asked herself if she would ever find love. Abeo, as we all know, was burdened by this prophecy, that she had to marry the old palm wine tapper from the village of Gidigbo, Halowunle. Her heart was always heavy, with unfulfilled dreams. She longed for companionship and warmth, but found only solitude in the marriage. One day, a man called Tanimola Lashoki, who sold fabrics to her husband, visited their home. He was kind with a gentle smile that brought light to her dim world. Though they spoke often, their relationship remained innocent, confined to the realm of friendship. Yet, in his presence, she felt a flicker of the happiness she had always yearned for, a bittersweet reminder of the life that could have been. Abeo, still troubled, often found solace by the riverside, where the soothing sound of water calmed her troubled heart. It was here that she would meet Tanimola Lashoki. Their conversations a rare joy in her otherwise lonely life. One afternoon, as the sun dipped low, casting golden hues over the water, they sat together on a smooth stone, sharing stories and laughter. The breeze carried their words, light and free, unaware of the watchful eyes that had been following them. Unbeknownst to them, one of Alowonle's maids, had been spying them from the cover of the trees. The maid, loyal to Alowonle and suspicious of Abeo's frequent absences, had grown curious. As she watched, she saw the warmth in her eyes and the ease with which they spoke, interpreting it as something more than friendship. The maid hurried back to the village, her heart pounding with the weight of what she had witnessed. When she finally reached Alowonle, she hesitated for a moment, then recounted the scene by the riverside. Alowonle's face darkened with anger and betrayal, his frail hands trembling. Abeo, unaware of the impending storm, walked back to her home, her heart light from the conversation, only to be met with the cold glare of Alowonle and the knowing gaze of the maid. Alowonle, now consumed by rage and humiliation, wasted no time in deciding Abeo's fate. He gathered the village elders, spinning a tale of betrayal, and demanded justice. Despite Abeo's pleas of innocence, the elders sided with Alowonle. Their judgment swift and unforgiving, Abeo was cast out, forced to leave the village she had once called home, her belongings hastily bundled in a small sack. Tanimola too faced the wrath of the community. The elders decreed that he was no longer welcome, branding him a corrupter of marriages. He was banned from the village, his once thriving trade reduced to ruins. As Abeo walked away, tears streaming down her face, she glanced back one last time, seeing Tanimola in the distance, both of them now outcasts, paying the price of a friendship misunderstood. After being sent away from Gidigbo, everyone wondered how Abeo will survive, as Alowonle was not a mere palm wine tapper. He is also a very rich farmer with hectares of land in Gidigbo. As years passed, Abeo, now hardened by life, returned to Araromi with Tanimola by her side. They had built a life together in a distant town where their love had blossomed despite the pain of their past. As they entered the village, the familiar path stirred old memories for Abeo, but she walked with her head held high, acting all high and mighty again, like she used to back then with Ajadi. The villagers, surprised by her return, whispered among themselves, curious and weary. Her parents, now older and frailer, recognized Abeo, and they could see the strength in her eyes. Tanimola stood proudly beside her, unashamed of their love. Determined to marry Tanimola, Abeo returned to her village with a plan, knowing fully well that her parents would never approve of him unless he fulfilled the prophecy. She told them he was a palm wine tapper. Her parents, eager to see her settled according to tradition, believed her words and welcomed Tanimola with open arms. The villagers gathered for the traditional wedding, where the couple exchanged vows under the watchful eyes of the elders. Tanimola played his role well, speaking of his work with confidence, while Alao and Abeke beamed with pride, thinking the prophecy had been fulfilled. As they celebrated, only Abeo and Tanimola knew the truth, bound by love and a shared secret that secured their union. One day, Adio, a close friend of Tanimola and once upon a time a suitor to Abeo, visited Abeo's parents. As he approached their home, he mentioned seeing his friend nearby and casually spoke his name. The parents, smiling, told him their daughter was married to that man, a humble palm wine tapper. Surprised, Adio corrected them, saying that his friend was actually a wealthy fabric vendor. The revelation struck the parents like a thunderbolt, their smiles fading into fury. Feeling deceived, they immediately summoned Abeo. When she arrived, her heart sank, knowing the truth had come out, and she faced the wrath of her betrayed parents. Alao and Abeke, furious at first, scolded her harshly for lying to them. They couldn't understand why she had deceived them. Feeling embarrassed and betrayed, her mother's eyes filled with tears as she spoke of the importance of honesty, while her father's voice shook with disappointment. Abeo, remorseful, explained that she only had to lie out of fear that they wouldn't accept the man she truly loved. As they listened to her heartfelt plea, their anger slowly softened. They saw the sincerity in her eyes and realized how deeply she cared for Tanimola. The parents, though still hurt, recognized the love between the couple and the happiness it had brought their daughter. With time, they forgave her, understanding that love doesn't always follow tradition. Finally, they gave their blessing to the marriage. Tanimola and Abeo, relieved and grateful, embraced the new beginning. From that day forward, they lived happily ever after, with Tanimola welcomed into the family as a beloved son-in-law. And that concludes Abeo and the palm wine tapper. The moral of the story is that fate or destiny isn't rigid, and sometimes the path we think we are destined to follow may not be the right one. Despite being told that she must marry a palm wine tapper to survive, Abeo's happiness and well-being were only found when she chose a different path and married Tanimola. This tells us that happiness and fulfillment often come from following one's path and making choices that align with personal desires rather than adhering strictly to what others dictate. It also emphasizes the importance of adaptability and courage in seeking what truly brings joy and contentment. Thank you all for watching. Watch out for my next story. Bye.